Marama Davidson.
Mr. Speaker, again, intent, all that we know about intent is what was written in the law, and the law was very clear. I'd like to pick up on the previous speaker's reference to saving money and to being prudent. And, you know, what is a fiscal risk to the taxpayer? And I think, you know, we can just look at housing, for example. If we want to look at managing money and managing investment for good economic outcomes, we can look at how they have failed to invest in the needs of New Zealanders and families, and that in that long run, we actually end up paying through the nose for it, all of us taxpayers. So I just wanted to make that point. And again, I absolutely know that this is poor process, that we are here under urgency debating this piece of legislation without any consultation. And it is those voices who at this stage of this lawmaking I would like to take a moment to uphold at this moment and pick up most certainly on the point that my colleague Jan Logie referred to about the work and income regiment around their clients' responsibility is often cutting. Nearly every time it is cutting. Just some months ago I sat in a room with a whole group of the Manukau community, job seekers, who were talking about the barriers to finding suitable and meaningful employment, including, for example, transport, and how in South Auckland the work and income regiment is made particularly hard with the lack of good, accessible and affordable public transport. In those cases, missing any meetings, as we've heard, has been cutting on those very people who are doing their darndest to try and find work, to be contributing members of the society, not just socially but also economically. So this is absolutely the stage where we would have heard those stories from the people themselves who are going to be directly impacted on by this very piece of law. And I think at this stage I will talk about the fact that, you know, I've been in this job for 2 weeks, and already I can see how easy it would be for MPs to be very removed, and understandably so, from the realities that many ordinary New Zealanders face. For example, you know, as an MP, I'm able to travel free of charge. I have an accommodation benefit to do my job. And if we contrast that with the everyday, and this has been 2 weeks of my life, and I absolutely agree that we need the tools to do our job, but the realities, in contrast, for the very people that this is going to impact on, are important, particularly at the second reading. So I salute all of those people who have struggled, who have done amazing things with a small amount of money to do the best for their lives. And then I will probably talk about, there's a quote here. Jan Logie wrote a blog recently about this issue, about this bill, and a person underneath wrote, quote, "The New Zealand government, no matter who it is, has tried to get as much money back from beneficiaries as they can. No sole parent on a benefit gets to see their child support paid by the other parent. All beneficiaries pay secondary tax at approximately $20 for every $100 earned, yet they dock your pay based on your gross wages." So it's those voices that I wanted to give my time over to and support in the second reading, and just to reiterate that there is no urgency. There is no genuine case for urgency at this time. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
The Honourable Ruth Dyson.
Mr. Speaker, can I just commend